The Witcher, Geralt of Rivia, undoubtedly a formidable monster slayer, badass, and prima ballerina. I've spoken previously at length about the combat from The Witcher 3, talking about Geralt's spins, his telegraphs, or drawing from the back. But for some reason my points were met with resistance from many a fanboy. So I thought to myself, let's this one last time go back and look at The Witcher and try and convince people that this isn't how you should fight. Now let me first say that I'm as big a fan of The Witcher as anybody. In fact, I've been growing my hair out since May 19th, 2015, just to be more like Geralt. That handsome son of a bitch. Like I say, I've made a fair few videos comparing the fighting style in The Witcher to that of historical fencing. Here's what a few people had to say about my comparisons. It's how he fights in the books. You obviously haven't read the books. Thank you so much for informing us all that you can in fact read. You special snowflake you. You and you alone must truly understand The Witcher. Funnily enough, my comparisons are of the games, because I can actually see the techniques and compare them to actual human movement. Rather than simply using my imagination, that wouldn't make such a great video. But it's only a game. Who cares if it's realistic or not? Yeah, it's a game. Believe it or not, we know. If you don't care how this stuff matches up to the way a longsword was used in the real world, then fuck off and go watch Zoella. This is my channel, and I don't care if you think it's pointless comparing games to real life. I don't. But Geralt is a Witcher. He's faster and stronger than real humans. This one's a really dumb response for a few reasons. First of all, Geralt was killed by a randomer with a pitchfork, so he's clearly not invulnerable. Second, merely being stronger or faster in a sword fight isn't a guarantee that I'm going to win. Example, if I'm fighting a child in a wheelchair who has a sword, it stands to reason that I'm about as powerful in comparison to the kid in the wheelchair that Geralt is to a regular human being. If I decide it's a good idea to ignore practicality and just start spinning, that's going to allow the kid to just roll straight through me. These are just some of the common comments I get. But really there is no argument to defend Geralt's techniques. They suck. He spins pointlessly, he hugely telegraphs his attacks. In fact, his movements look flimsy as well. I'm not sure even if one of these hits actually landed on someone, whether they would even be able to cut through an arm, let alone an entire torso covered in plate armor. Just check out his choreographer. This is not how a real sword fight looks. And that's fine. In fact, it's cool. I couldn't do that stuff. And it's loyal to the source material. Just don't kid yourself into believing that it's useful just because it looks cool. You could really hurt yourself with that $30 aluminium longsword that you bought off the internet. Some people are bound to be like, oh yeah, well you can't do it. No, I can't. And as much as I appreciate it visually, I wouldn't want to be able to do it. The time it would take to learn a skill like that isn't worth it for me. I'd rather learn to use a sword in a practical way. In a way people really would have done. That's much cooler to me. There's one final argument that I would like to make before you fanboys click dislike on the video. And that is that CD Projekt Red very clearly know what HEMA is. There's a tattoo on this guy that's very clearly pulled directly from Talhofer. I'm pretty sure the sword on this statue is supposed to look like a feather. And in this video, they mentioned that they hired medieval combat experts to design the animations for the NPCs.
Witcher fights not like an ordinary soldier. He's more like dancing. His movements are extraordinary. They're different. So what I want to do here, I'll be focusing a lot on making the NPCs fight like they actually fought in the medieval times. And we actually have two guys in the studio that are specialized in that. And Witcher will be doing all the crazy movie-like stuff. So you'll get this feeling that they attack you like kind of properly, but then Witcher starts doing all the flips and pirouettes.
They made sure that he did not fight like a regular medieval swordsman. However real you decide to think these crazy techniques are, they were designed specifically to not be real. To be separate and something alien, something different. Trust me, okay? I tried this shit out in real life and it doesn't work. In my opinion, the best fighter in the Witcherverse is this guy. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce his name. I'm not just saying he's the best because he kind of looks like me but without the beard. He displays a few practical techniques like stepping through into his strikes. I'm not saying that's definitely how you should fight against a giant armadillo monster.
Fatality.
But you get my point. I hope this has helped set the record straight for all you hopeless believers out there. Geralt isn't real, unfortunately. But you shouldn't let that dissuade you from going outside, picking up a stick, going on the internet and learning how to swing a sword for real. Anyway, that's my rant over. I'm sure I still haven't convinced any people. Actually, wait, there's one more thing. You Game of Thrones fans, if I hear one more person say that Arthur Dane is the best fighter because it says so in the books, I'm gonna kill some people. The books are ambiguous and they're told from the point of view of different characters. Many of them from completely different regions with completely different histories and completely different heroes and religions. You're gonna tell me that they can tell you for definite who the best swordsman is. Like George R.R. Martin would do that. Just explicitly say, this guy's the best. If you really believe that, you clearly haven't understood a word of what you've read, and you should just put the books down and go and pick up the crayons. Well done for learning to read, but you need to go back a few steps to the hungry caterpillar. Peace out. Is that cool? Is that what the kids are doing now? I don't even know. Ah. What do you think of my new background, by the way?